Hello and welcome, this is Carl the Landscape Guy. Some time ago I made a video about the setup of a small interior fish pond complete with brush and biofilter. Here you can find the video on my channel. The system has as well as the filter worked very well. Here you can see clearly the biofilm which had already formed after a while. But the shape of the tank was not ideal for the fish, because as far as I know the koi like it a bit shallower with more bottom surface area. In this video I will replace that tank with a folding tank and convert the gravity filter into a pumped filter. At the end I will discuss some advantages and disadvantages of both variations. First, I pumped all the water out of the pellet basin and removed it. I already explained the construction and function of the two filter basins in the last video. I will link that video for you again at the end. The area is swept clean for the folding tank. Then I lay out an old carpet. Now I put the 1.8 meter, which is about 6 feet in diameter, Aquaforte folding tank on it. This is easily and quickly assembled with the help of the included rods. When all the rods are in place and the pool is roughly set up, I will fill in about 100 liters of water. Because with the help of the water pressure, all folds in the bottom can be smoothed out. Afterwards, more water can be filled in. Now, of course, the piping must be changed. I put a T-piece onto the supply line for the filter. On one side, the pump lying in the tank will be connected and then the overflow on the other side. If the filter should ever become clogged, which is unlikely, the pump pumps the water through the overflow directly back into the tank. This simple pump is what I had installed last time in the biofilter. It is now placed into the middle of the round tank. To connect it to the filter, I have to shorten the pipe a little bit. To prevent the cable from hanging loosely around in the water, I wrap it around the pipe. And then to stabilize it, I place some bricks under the T-piece. After the biofilter, the water runs through this 50mm pipe back into the tank. The height of this pipe at the highest point will later regulate how high the water level rises in the two filter chambers. Of course, you have to be careful that it is not too high so that the filters do not overflow. Where the pump was previously installed at the bottom of the biofilter, there is now a hole in the outlet pipe through which the biohelix could easily escape. So I make myself a piece of pipe with holes so that the helix is safely held back in the biofilter basin. Then the air stones are placed back inside. Also the inlet pipe, through which comes the water from the brush filter, goes back in. Here I show how I put the UVC lamp into the inlet pipe. This proved successful and I will keep it there. Now I will plug it in and see if everything works as it should. Looks good, and now of course the helix has to go back into the biofilter. It is important that the helix does not dry out, otherwise the bacteria will die off. The water circuit seems to run very well and all pipe connections are tight. Some pipes I have secured with clamps. The lid is also important because the bacteria cannot tolerate any UV light. A big advantage to this folding tank is the built-in zipper mesh cover. I have used this folding tank before when I was seining the natural pond. You can find this video on my channel. I have some of my koi here, which I now put into the tank. I think that the reconstruction has brought a big improvement to the indoor tank. The soft outer wall of the new tank is beneficial for the fish because they cannot injure themselves against it. As I do not use the inner tank all year round, it makes sense for me to use a folding tank that can be stored away efficiently. I also like the look of the yellow fish in the blue tank. The pump in the tank is a little visually unattractive, but it makes sense to have it in the middle because the dirt collects there from the circular flow. The dirty water is then pumped into the brush filter where it calms down and the dirt settles on the bottom. There's, however, a disadvantage to this pump filter system because the dirt is shredded by the pump before it is filtered, resulting in more floating matter that does not settle so easy onto the bottom or on the brushes. You might recall that in the gravity filter system, the water had reached the pump only after filtering, so that the coarse dirt particles were not shredded. After the brush filter, the water passes the UVC lamp and is then pushed through the biohelix. This is simultaneously aerated against the water flow direction. The helix are floating slightly and I have filled in about 125 liters of helix so that there is still some place at the bottom for the outlet pipe. Through this pipe, the water flows back into the tank. The PVC pipe elbows make it easy to adjust the flow separately. Now I hope you enjoyed this video or that it helped you with your project. Please have a look at the previous video of the filter construction. There will certainly be some changes to the system in the future and I will also make more videos about it. In the description I have linked some products for you. Thank you very much for watching and I see you next time. I'm Carl the Landscape Guy.